Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Planescape Torment. We just entered the new portion of the Hive, and we're here because this is going to be the only time I'm be doing a little bit of metagaming. I remember there's a gentleman here, I think he's right in front of us, right here. Yep, that's him. That can help us train our fighting skills as a fighter. So let's talk to him, and then let's see what he can do for us. Brian. Every inch of this man's skin is covered in a web of black lines. It's as if some artist chose to accentuate every crease in his flesh with a quill pen. The overall effect is such that even when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Oh, nice. He's like cel-shaded or something. Greetings. This one has a name. This one is called Porprian. The man's voice is like a gong. As he speaks, the lines on his face bend and settle in a series of spherical patterns. This one would know. Why do you address this one? I wanted to ask you some questions about the city. This one would have you know. This one cannot answer your questions. The lines on his face twist into angles, then split into a mess of scribbles. This one has only recently stepped foot in this place of walls. Alright, then. But I have to ask you this. Why do those lines upon your face move? The lines show anger. Do you take offense? The lines slowly straighten, forming into gentle curves. No offense was meant. Will you accept the many apologies of this one? No offense taken. Why are you angry? This one tells of event recent. Did you know this one was beset by 3? The 3 demanded an item of this one. This one feared an attack. What does this one do? This one surrendered the item. Well, you were right to be afraid. If there were 3, then they might have killed you, had you not given up the item. This one has been misunderstood. The lines on his face become angled, then smooth into curves again. Oh, he got a little angry with us. This one did not fear being killed. This one feared killing the 3. Well, if you could have killed them, why did you let them rob you? This one walks the path of a warrior. Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, the smiter. These tools are all known to this one. That's not much of an explanation. Again, if you're a warrior with that much training, why let them rob you? This one is forbidden to attack. The lines ripple across his face as he speaks. If this one had struck at the 3 in anger, the vow of non-violence would be unmade. Wait. A vow of non-violence? You're a warrior and a pacifist. This one is unfamiliar with your speech. What is this pacifist? Never mind. Why did you train so much if you're not permitted to attack another? This one is of the Order of Eret Agi. We await the final days where all will be called to battle. The training and skills of this one, they are to be kept silent until then. So in the meantime, you will let yourself be robbed in the street without defending yourself. This one will clarify. The item is of value. The discipline of the Irit Agai is of greater value. Right? I'm going to mess that word up every single time. Irit Ag? Irit Ag? I'll go with the E is silent. How's that? Since you won't fight, any chance you could talk these thieves into returning your item? This one addresses the 3 thieves. What happens? The requests of this one are met with scorn. The 3 will not return the item. I could go get that item back for you, if you could pay me for my services. This one apologizes. Nothing more does this one have that was not already taken. You don't have anything. This one apologizes twice. Would you consent to be trained? Trained in what? Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, the smiter. These tools are all known to this one. Do you wish them known to you? Weapon training. If it's for free... This one speaks the cost. The item stolen, returned only, nothing more. Alright, I'll do it. What does this stolen item look like? The item is this. A rope of black and red prayer beads worn around the neck. The worth of these beads is not measured in copper. The worth of these beads is measured in faith. Alright then. I'll see if I can find this necklace. Do you know where these 3 thugs might be? This one knows where the angry words were traded, and the item lost. By the bar that burns inside? The 3 were outside the place, dressed in black and red. 3 robbers, dressed in black and red, outside a bar that burns on the inside. That can't be too hard to find. Farewell.
Updated my journal. Done.
Ooh, look at this thing. We have a half-dragon walking around. Black Abishai. Or Abashi? Nope. Abyssai. Abyssai? Abishai? I can't pronounce any of the creatures in here. I'll go with, Abishai, since I've always pronounced it as that when I was a youngin'. Back when I had the 2nd edition demon book. What was that? The Monster Compendium. Holy crap. And it was... The Monster Compendium was released, that's right, in a giant binder. And the expansions to the quote-quote book were just leaflets with the holes punched in the side, so you could just put them into your book. Ah, it was a long time ago. Oh, good times, good times. Many of my McDonald's working money was spent there on Dungeons & Dragons stuff when I was a kid. Okay, so I think this is where we want to go. We're kind of going to ignore everyone, because I really just want to train my combat skills up. And I think what we want to do is go down in this direction. And this is them. So let's go ahead and... Oh! Elise, this panic-stricken young woman runs up to you, breathless, tears streaming down her face. Please, sir, you gotta help me stop them. They'll kill each other, they will. What's going on? 'Tis me brother and me lover. They're fightin'. 'Tis just harsh words now, but I just know they'll be bleeding each other in a moment. Help me stop them, I beg of ye. Sure, I'll speak to them right now. Oh, 1,000 thanks, Blood. They're right over there. I return have spoken with them. Oh, wow. Is it these? It must be these people. Mayeth. This is one of the 2 men shouting and waving their weapons at each other. It seems as if at any moment they'll leap at each other's throats. Greetings? The man, face reddened from the exhortation of hurling curses at his foe, whirls to face you. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy, Assad? I'm wondering why you 2 are fighting. None of your business, Burke. Pike off. Any way I can help you resolve the dispute? No, you can't. This son of a whore keeps sticking his nose into my life with Elise. And now he's gonna get it cut right off his ugly face. It's no concern of yours, so stay out of it. Your lover wanted me to stop the 2 of you from fighting. The man suddenly becomes silent. Elise called for ye, eh? I don't know who you are, Burke, but I don't see how you plan on stopping us. So this is... wow. I've broken up fights before. Only twice. And, I was successful. Once by talking, once by just leaping in and just peeling someone off of someone else. This is when I worked at Great Adventure. The talking one was a much nicer experience. Both people, you know, just walked away. But, oh. Look, Elise doesn't want to see either of you hurt. Can't you take care of whatever the problem is without scaring the wits out of her? The man furrows his brow for a moment, then nods his head. You're right, Cutter. Here, I was fighting to give her the chance to get out of her brother's shadow, and then I go and ignore her bleeding and do things my way myself. Sighs. Guess I'll work things out with this sod some other way. And glad you see things that way. Farewell.
Done.
Elisa's brother nods approvingly at you. Thanks for helping us work things out. You're an alright Cutter, so's you are. Thanks, farewell. And we've just entered combat. Our first out here combat. So these three thugs here are going to activate and attack us. Probably going to attack Mort, which is fine with me. So Mort's going to attack him, and then we're going to move up.
I'm gone.
Oh wow, we have another thug over here. So hit the A button to attack, and we'll attack this guy.
What's up?
We're going to have Mort use Taunt on this one.
You dog's body.
You dog's body? And this is it. Slugging it out in the street. Ooh, Mort took a big hit there. Mort's now going, because one's running away, we're going to re-taunt him.
Sod. Yeah.
And then we can attack him again. Enemies will flee in this game. And I have no desire to chase them all around the hive. Alright, I'm going to attack this one. Ooh, critical miss on my part. Ooh, I took 12 damage!
What's up, Chief?
Or, why don't you...
Your face is just begging to be kicked. What's the word,
Right.
Chief?
I'm going to attack him.
What's up?
Mort is going to taunt the one that's running.
You father of trolls.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually tough. Holy crap. Mort's going to heal himself, and I will get a chance to search the bodies. And we'll take a look together at what we're picking up once we're done with this. Oh, one of the mods I've installed allows me to stack similar items, by the way.
I'm gone.
That's why all those bracelets are stacking up. So let's take a look. So we picked up some bronze bracelets, I said stone. This thick bronze bracelet is heavy, simple, and uninteresting. You could probably sell it to a local merchant for a bit of coin. A rusty dagger. This small rusty dagger, it's a blade chipped and the hilt is loose, and I'm adding all sorts of other words to this sentence. It doesn't look like it will stand up to repeated use without breaking. Fragile, or fragile, breakable. We don't care about this, we're just going to, but we can get like a single copper for it, so. Now we took a huge hit. Let's use one of these on ourselves. And why don't we use one of these on us as well? So we can select this, then click on us. Cool. Bandaging gets a sound effect, stitching does not. Alright, so we came down here to talk to these guys.
I'm gone.
Hive thug. That's a pretty big looking thug. Mort, why don't you walk up, because we might need you for this. This heavy-set thug is swathed in rags, dyed red and black. He looks like he is made almost purely of muscle. He glowers at you as you approach. Greetings. Ah, how can I help you then, governor? The man's face breaks into a sneer. Looks to me like he needs a healer. You the one who robbed a monk in the hive, took his prayer bead necklace? Some saw what lines scrawled all over his face, claimed he could have put us all in the dead book, yet lets us rob him blind? The man gives a slow, toothless smile. Never even heard of such a sod, I haven't. You can offer to buy the necklace, I can lie to him. If my charisma's high enough, I might be able to pass this. Or I can threaten him. Let's try lying. That is interesting. The rest of his order is looking for you. The brothers of Irit Ag seem to know you quite well. Eh? The man's sneer fades. What are you on about? What brothers? The Sa was alone, he was. He's a member of a religious order, you fool. That necklace you stole is their most holy relic. If it isn't returned, the rest of his order will come looking for you. And they don't have any reservations about killing thieves. The man's eyes widen. Now, we was just keeping the relic for him. He reaches into the folds of his robe and pulls forth the necklace, which he hands carefully over to you. Here it is. No harm done, eh? I hope this is enough to call off the rest of his order. Perhaps a donation to their cause is in order as well. It might help smooth things over and ward off any curses that might come your way.
Updated my journal.
Curses! The man makes a semicircle over his heart. Yeah, well, now, you wouldn't want any of that. He reaches into a person's belt and hands over several copper coins. Take it with me blessing, Governor. You tell him no harm was meant. Your donation is appreciated. Farewell. Cool. High charisma, everyone. 13. We're cute. For all the good that helps me against him. I know maybe what you're thinking, that I used that stitch earlier. I didn't have to. We're already almost healed that damage that we took. But I think it's thematic that we probably wouldn't even want to walk up to that guy. And I don't know if 13 charisma would have been high enough to actually pass that check.
I'm gone.
So now we have the bead necklace. So we're going to go way back up here. What time is it, by the way? 9:30. We're going to go back up here and turn this item in and then get some training.
I'm gone.
To be better at the weapons we currently have.
Done.
Now, when we fought those thieves, we also gained 65 experience points for each one we killed.
I'm gone.
But don't forget, that was split amongst everyone in the group. So we actually, each of us earned 130 for that. You can probably level up as much as you want by farming thieves. As a heads up, I do not recommend you attack them to start. Defending yourself is very different than picking a fight in this game. Your alignment will shift if you start killing people without provocation. You see Pope Fryan. He is standing grimly on the street, paying no heed to the passersby. The webs of lines on his face are staggered to a series of right angles. Oh, he's fuming. This one addresses you, Pope Fryan. As you speak, the angles in Pope Fryan's face relax into a series of strange curves. This one would ask, do you have the neck rope of beads that was stolen? I think so. Is this it?
Updated my journal.
This one sees what you hold. Those are the beads once missing. He takes them from you. You notice his hands have the same tracery lines upon them as his face. This one has a question. How did you get the beads from the three? I told them a few harmless lies. Then they were happy to give me the beads. This one would know. One who fights with words carries a name in the order of Irit Ag. Pope Fryan's face breaks into angles again. Those ones are called diplomats. It is a path without discipline and without honor. If you were a true warrior, you would learn to use every weapon at your disposal. This one bestows apologies. This one meant no offense. The angles on Pope Fryan's face sharpen acutely, then slowly curve into ripples. This one bestows several welcome thanks for your services, yes? Oh, he did not like us saying that, but he's not going to attack us because it was against his order. Wow, so we said the wrong thing there. Well, what about the weapons training you promised? This one could instruct you, yes, but this one warns you. With knowledge of violence comes temptation to use it. Oh, I sure hope so. This one speaks. It is your will to leave behind your previous profession. The path of the warrior cannot be walked with an unfocused mind. Okay, at this point I need to explain how leveling up works for the Nameless One, since he's a bit, or classes work for him. Mort is a fighter. He's not dual-classed and will never have the option to do this. The Nameless One is a fighter. He can never dual-class either. But the Nameless One can change his character class when he begins to find trainers. He can become a thief. But doing so means he leaves behind any advantages, or some of the advantages, being a fighter would give him. For example, being a fighter gives us a better THAC0. It decreases more rapidly, meaning we have a better chance of harming enemies. I want to say we benefit from a much higher strength, whereas other character classes would not do so, and we get more attacks per round. If later on we discover how to be a thief, and we change our class to be a thief, we lose the THAC0 bonus. We lose the multiple attacks per round, to instead pick up the thief abilities of being able to detect traps, hide in shadows, backstab opponents, and so on. In this case, in order to train with weapons, we need to be a warrior. Also on that note, the warrior can, I believe, use like an axe, whereas the thief will not be able to do so. He can also carry 4 weapons in his active weapon slots. The thief, I believe, gets 2 instead. And the thief is limited to, I think, punch daggers, which are basically fist weapons, daggers and clubs, whereas we can use any weapon we come across as a warrior. Later on, we can also become a mage, and the mage lets us cast spells, magic user spells. We will never be able to learn to become a cleric, or if we can, I have not learned how to do so. I do not actually think, though, that we would be able to do so, given that I remember a little bit about our history. Alright, that was probably a little bit too much. I probably should have said that, but let's keep going. I'm so sorry. Alright, so I have no profession other than fighting at this moment. I would walk the path of the warrior. So what that would happen is that we would lose our thief, if we were a thief, for example, and now we would be a warrior. Now, how this also works, right now, we're earning experience as a warrior. Any experience we get will help us level up as a warrior. When a warrior levels up, he gains D10 hit points. I've set the game to give me max hit points whenever I level up, so we'll get 10 hit points as a warrior. A rogue gains D6 whenever he levels up. So leveling up as a thief is not a good idea. Now, let me go into this a little bit more. I'm sorry, everyone, but I really needed to explain this, just in case you're unfamiliar with this. The hit points you gain will be the first time you hit a new maximum level. So, if we hit... Right now we're a fighter level 4. If we hit fighter level 5, we get an extra D10 hit points. If we change ourselves to a thief, we become a thief level 3, because we haven't earned any experience points as a thief yet. We then have to level the thief up to level 5 before we have to worry about him leveling to level 6, because at that point, when we level from 5 to 6, it's a new maximum level for all the levels we know, and then we gain an extra D6 hit points, not D10. So if you really want to get hit points, you'll want to actually raise your max level whenever you can as a fighter, but then switch to a different class to level it afterwards. Oh, wow, I hope I'm explaining all this reasonably well. I'm done talking about game mechanics, let's keep playing. This one will instruct. The lines on his face fold into triangles. These things comprise the angles of your training. Focus, experience, proficiency. I don't understand, can you explain?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of focus first. For teaching to take root, you must have focus. You must be committed to the path of the warrior. The warrior is your profession. No other. Understood. I can only be the fighter class if I want to learn about weapons. What is the next angle of training?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of experience second. True knowledge of combat comes only with experience. There is a limit to how much weapon instruction one may absorb. When you reach new levels in the art of the warrior, it may be that you are ready for new instruction. Understood. There is a limit to how much I can learn at first, but this limit may increase when I reach a new level. What is the next angle of training? This one will speak of proficiency third. There is only so much one may learn about any weapon. This one would add, there is only so much that this one can teach. Knowledge of the weapon comes at 3 levels: the ignorant, the proficient, and the specialized. There are 3 levels between each of these, in which the student has surpassed previous learning, but has not yet truly reached the plateau of the next skill. What are these levels? This level of the ignorant is this: when one does not know the weapon they use, the attack is clumsy, the damage much less than its potential. Sounds like me when I woke on the mortuary slab. Go on. What is the level of proficient? The level of the proficient is this: when one has learned a weapon, he is said to be proficient in its use. His attacks are no longer clumsy. They come swiftly and surely. And the level of the specialist?
Updated my journal.
The level of the specialist is this: when one goes beyond proficiency, he becomes specialized in the use of the weapon. The weapon is no longer tool, but extension of will. I understand. What can you teach me of weapons? Alright, so he's mentioning all the weapons again. So we can currently use fists and daggers. I like to increase these if possible, so let's do that. I wish to know about daggers. This one would use the dagger. It's one who would use the dagger. It strikes swiftly. The damage it does is the slash of the claw, or the piercing like a needle. The damage is determined by the type of dagger. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of the proficient in this weapon? Yes, I wish to learn to use this weapon.
Updated my journal.
This one will instruct you. First, stand like so. Yes. This one compliments you. The knowledge comes to you swiftly. You take instruction well. Thank you. I will learn other weapons if you would teach me. Okay, so we increased our dagger skill. We cannot increase it again, but we are now proficient in using the weapon. We knew how to use it already, so we weren't having any combat penalties, but we weren't getting anything else from it. Now we should get a bonus to attack and damage with it. I think we can ask about it again. Let's ask about fists. I wish to know about fists. One who would use the fist. That's right. It strikes swiftly. The damage it does crushes the bones of an opponent. There will be weapons you may find. Heavy gauntlets, punch daggers, or even the setis. These do crushing, piercing, or slashing damage. Your knowledge is limited. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of proficient in this weapon? Yes, I wish to learn to use this weapon.
Updated my journal.
This one will instruct you. First, stand like so. Yes. This one compliments you. The knowledge comes to you swiftly. You take instruction well. Thank you, that's all I wish to know today. So let's show you what happened on our character chart.
You don't want to sleep on the streets or get killed out here.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on in.
So our fist weapon now has 2 pluses on it, which means that we are now pretty good at using fist weapons. Our edged weapons are also ++, so we're pretty decent at using them. You'll see that our base THAC0 is 17, but because we're using a dagger, our THAC0 has decreased to 16. This is a good thing. So we have a slightly easier chance to land blows on enemies. Yep, and we've also got +2 damage now to daggers because of that too. Let's look at them one more time. We have 1 unused proficiency slot, which you can see here, and I'd like to use it. This one addresses you. Can I ask you some questions? Can you tell me if I am ready for more instruction? This one sees your mind is ready for more learning. What weapons would you wish to become proficient in? You know, it occurs to me that we might only... No, that wouldn't make sense. We probably get the plus proficiency weapons whenever we level up. What ones can you teach me? Alright, so let's actually learn something new. Let's learn about... Ooh, I like axes. I wish to learn about axes. One who would use the axe, its speed is not that of the club, but its damage is greater. It slashes like a great claw at the body of an opponent. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of the proficient in this weapon? Yes.
Updated my journal.
This one will instruct you. First, stand like so. This one compliments you. The knowledge comes to you swiftly. You take instruction well. Thank you. That's all I wish to know today.
All right.
Cool. And now, if we ever find any, we can use axes. Probably should have chosen clubs, since I do have the crowbar, which I think is a club, but I don't plan to use this for anything other than to open doors. I'll be sticking with daggers, fist irons or punch daggers, fist weapons, and occasionally I might use an axe. I'd like to use an axe, I've never used them before, and so to help me do so, I'm going to start training in them. I can't use an axe as a thief or a mage, though, so I'll only be able to use it when I'm a fighter, but we now have a single plus here. Alright, let's go out adventuring. I'm finally ready now to step into the place. The place we were told to go to. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think the place was north of of this, whatever this is, the obelisk. We have to make a semicircle above our heart. Is it around here? Alright, there it is. Let's step through. Guardian Spirit. This spectral figure materializes from the gloom of the passageway ahead and quickly moves to block your path. It floats before you, its once-human features twisted in a mask of rage. Defilers! Leave this place at once! Greetings. Leave now! Its booming voice echoes down the halls. This place is forbidden to the living. Leave while you can. I have some questions first. Seek your answers elsewhere. This place is a sanctuary for the dead. I shall not permit their slumber to be disturbed by the intrusion of yet another insolent mortal. Another? Has someone else been here? If you must know, yes. There was another intruder who, even now, continues to violate the sanctity of these hallowed halls. The anger in the spirit's voice fades. He seems somewhat saddened by the omission. The souls of my brothers and sisters cry out for peace. Why don't you drive this intruder away? I cannot. The coward has sealed himself within the inner chamber of the mausoleum. He has erected powerful wards that bar my entrance into the chamber. It is from there that he calls upon his dark arts to awaken my brethren and bends them to his evil will. Sounds to me like you need the help of one intruder to get rid of another. The spirit remains silent for several long moments. You can almost feel the weight of his lifeless gaze upon you. Yes. You might prevail where I have failed. If you will pledge to rid me of this black guard, I shall grant you passage. What say you? I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
So be it. The spirit slowly begins to fade, until only the echoing of its disembodied voice remains. But take heed. Tread lightly in these halls, lest you join the others in eternal rest.
Alright.
Alright, why don't we... Because it's undead, and there's probably more skeletons than anything else, we're going to actually equip our fists. Fist weapons.
Done.
Because I keep hitting the wrong button, I'm also going to shift Mort. Oh, I can't do so. Okay. Oh!
What?
Can I change their AI? No, I can't. Maybe I can.
Right.
I don't know how. Wow, look at this place. Oh, people must be buried in the actual